Hi, I'm Anna, and welcome to the D5 Audible cheat sheet where we conclude with the styles of sherry. Sherry styles are not categories you memorize, they are outcomes of decisions made earlier about fortification, aging environment, and how long wines stay in the Solera. Once you understand that, the styles fall into place. We begin with the biologically aged styles. Fino is fortified to around 15% ABV and aged entirely under floor. Floor protects the wine from oxidation, keeping color pale and body light. Aging develops savory, yeasty aromas rather than fruit. Fino is dry, delicate, and defined by biologically aged aging from start to finish. Manzanilla follows the same production logic as Fino, but it is aged in San Luca de Barrameda. The cooler temperatures and higher humidity near the coast allow flour to remain thicker and more persistent. As a result, manzanilla often shows even greater freshness and a more pronounced saline character. From a D5 perspective, this is not a different method, it's the same biological aging expressed in a different aging environment. Next are wines that move beyond biological aging. Amontillado begins its life like a Fino, under floor at around 15% ABV. At some point, the wine is refortified to around 17% ABV. This kills the floor and the wine continues aging oxidatively. Amontillado therefore combines both pathways biological aging first, oxidative aging second. The result is a dry wine with greater depth, darker color, and nutty oxidative aromas layered over the savory character developed earlier. We then move fully into oxidative styles. Oloroso is fortified to around 17% ABV from the outset. Flaw never develops. The wine ages oxidatively throughout its life, gaining color, body, and concentration over time. Oloroso is dry by default, though its richness can give an impression of sweetness. From a D5 standpoint, it is important to separate perceived sweetness from residual sugar. Oloroso is structurally dry unless sweetened later. Palo cortado is the least predictable style and the one that often confuses students. It begins life classified for biological aging, like a Fino. However, the flour fails to develop or persist as expected. The wine is then refortified and aged oxidatively. Structurally, it follows an Amontillado pathway, but stylistically, it combines the aromatic finesse associated with biological aging and the body and depth of Oloroso. In D5 terms, Palo Cortado exists because classification and aging do not always behave exactly as planned. So far, all these styles are dry. Sweet styles are created separately through blending. Sweet sherry does not come from stopping fermentation of palomino. Instead, sweetness is introduced by blending dry sherry with sweet wines made from Pedro Jimenez or Muscatel. Sweetened Amontillado and sweetened Oloroso are produced by adding sweet wine to their dry counterparts. This allows producers to control sweetness precisely while retaining the underlying aged character of the dry wine. At the richest end of the spectrum is Pedro Jimenez sherry itself. These wines are made from sun dried grapes, fermented only briefly, and fortified to preserve extremely high levels of residual sugar. They are intensely sweet, viscous, and deeply colored. While they can be bottled alone, their primary role in the sherry system is as a blending component. Across all these styles, aging takes place within a Solera system. This means that age indication refer to average age, not vintage, and that consistency is prioritized over year to year variation. For the D5 exam, the distinction level insight is this. Sherry styles are not flavor categories. They are the logical outcomes of fortification level, aging pathway, and blending decisions applied to a neutral base wine. If you can name each style and explain why it tastes the way it does, you're exactly where the examiners want you. I hope you enjoyed listening, and I'll see you at the next episode.